Anusha, I have made you the host. Anusha,
Hello, sir.
yeah, I have made you the host.
Okay, okay.
So please take care. I may not be available here. So once it
Oh,
is like getting over, you can stop it.
okay, sir.
Okay, and even I have Aman can directly share the screen. I have enabled the sharing option, so all can share the
Okay, sir.
screen. So Aman can share the screen.
Hmm.
Okay, all the best, Aman.
All the best,
Thank
Aman.
you, sir. Thank you, Anisha.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, okay, take care.
As reminded by my colleague, there is one important guest here. Let's welcome Day1.
Hello.
Hello, Rishikesh.
Sir, shall we go ahead or wait for 5 minutes?
How many contestants are remaining? If any information to you.
We'll wait for another 2 minutes and you can go ahead.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Welcome to our today's online workshop on clustering using Python. My name is Rushikesh. I will be the moderator for this session. Before we start, I take please to that has some question on skill going to have techniques in the field of bioinformatics using Python language. Over to you, Aman.
Okay, guys. So here we will begin with our workshop on clustering using Python. Okay, so first of all, we will in this session we will first take theory and we will move towards the practical session. So let's understand what actually clustering is. Clustering Clustering is the process of grouping similar data points together based on their characteristics or the features. It helps us in identifying patterns, similarities, and the differences within the dataset. Uh, the the This can be achieved by employing the various algorithms which can recognize the similar patterns within the labeled as well as the unlabeled dataset like shape, color, size, behavior, and many such other attributes. And according to that, divides them as per the and the absence of those similar presence and absence of those similar patterns preset present in the dataset. Okay. So in we- in a class we say more similar students come together and form a group. This group is nothing but a cluster. uh, why we do clustering? uh, Suppose there is a huge data and we need suppose there is a huge data and we need specific data, so that and we have to study all the so we can't so we can study all the data on each by each on by itself. So we form the clusters. uh, we form the clusters, we form the groups of the data and study on that. After studying on the groups, after study on that groups, we get uh, we get easy. It simplifies the data for the easier analysis. Then it helps us identifying the patterns and the structure in the data. It is useful in the various fields like market research, image analysis, and especially the bioinformatics. Okay. Then now we will to move towards the types of clustering. So the first is connectivity based clustering. Hi, the hierarchical clustering algorithm is the type of this connectivity based clustering. It is based on the principle that every object is connected to its neighbors depending upon their proximity, distance, uh, or we can say the degree of their relationships between. The clusters are represented in the extensive hierarchical structure separated by the maximum distance required to connect the cluster parts. The clusters represented as the dendrograms. Here we can see the sorry. Here we can see the dendrogram here. It is nothing. It is similar to the family tree. As we can see the hierarchy. Um, First there is group, then it divides into subgroups. This is as we can see we have seen in the hierarchy of the family. Similarly, this is the hierarchy. Similarly, it is in the form of a tree called as a dendrogram. Then it is move towards the partitioning clustering or the centroid method, in which the K-means clustering algorithm is the prime example of this type of clustering. The centroid based clustering is the easiest of the all clustering types in data analysis. It works on the closeliness of the data points to the chosen central value. The datasets are divided into the number of clusters and the vector of the values references every cluster. The input data variable uh, to the is compared to the vector value and then enters the cluster with the minimal difference. So uh, simply we can say in a certain data set, uh, there there are some values there some values are considered as the vector, which can be considered as the centroid, and to the nearest and at a certain point the nearest points among the clusters is on forms the cluster. Means a group which have a central which have a center to which the other members are the nearest. And there is density based clustering, the DB scan. The density based clustering method considers the density of the data points where the density is gathered. The data is clustered by the region of high concentration of the data objects, bounded by the areas of the low concentration of the data objects. The clusters formed are grouped are the maximal set of the connected data points. The clusters formed vary in shape and sizes and contain a maximum degree of the homogeneity due to the similar density. This clustering approach includes the noise and the outliners in the data sets effectively. So uh, we in this figure we can see that the DB scan clustering is here based on the density where the data data have the high concentration are 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 grouped together. This is DB scan clustering or density based clustering. So now uh, we now we will see the use of clustering in our day-to-day life. Okay, so first of all, in market segmentation, for grouping the customer based on the purchasing behavior, then uh, it involves the dividing the broad customer or the business market, normally consisting of the existing and potential customers, into the subgroup of customers based on the type of the characteristic they shared. This clustering algorithm can group the customer with the similar purchasing behavior, their preferences, and their needed. It enables, which enables the businesses to to market their strategies to the specific customer group. Then it also helps in product development, then personalized customer experience. Like it works like that. Using the we use the clustering techniques to segment the customer based on their uh, uh, purchase history, demographics, and the browsing behavior. Uh, we c- as we know that the in the online shopping apps, we get various ads. Uh we the search pattern in our history is the data for the various company for their marketing skills. Then sim, in this image beside we can see that first there is a first there is a owner who is trying to determine the appropriate audience for his product. Then we have uh, then we then in the another part of image, we are using the clustering algorithms on the customer's database. After that, to after that using the clustering techniques on the customer database.
Hello, sir.
The Yes. Hello. Hello there. Was there an issue?
You can go ahead.
Continue,
Okay.
Gavin.
Uh,
Yeah.
and in the and in the third image, we can see that the we can see that after segmenting after using the clustering algorithm. Hello, Sakshi, your mic. Okay. After using the clustering algorithm on the database, uh, the 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 businessman is selling the appropriate product to its customer. Then it is used in image compression, that is reducing the number of colors in the image, reducing the numbers of pixels in the image. The image compression reduces the size of images without significantly degrading the visual quality. Here, the clustering can reduce the number of colors in the image by grouping the similar colors together and representing them in the form of color centroid. Uh, its benefits are the storage efficiency, faster transmission, and the cost saving. Then the main important thing is the anomaly detection. Uh, Anomaly detection is the identification of the rare items, events, or observation in which the rare suspicions by differing the significantly from the majority of the data. Uh, they in this the clustering can identify the outliers and the anomalies by determining which data points do not fit well into the any cluster. It can be helped in the fraud detection, then quality control, and the security. Uh, Using the clustering to detect the fraudulent transaction in the financial data can be a good example for it. Then customer segmentation, as we previously seen that just previously discussed, the customer segmentation is the practice of dividing the company's customer into the groups that reflect the similarities among the customers in each group. Okay, by using the k-means clustering to segment the customers for the retail company to identify the groups like frequent buyer, discount seekers, and premium customers. Okay. Now we will see its application in the bioinformatics. So gene expression analysis, grouping the genes with the similar expression patterns. In this, the main objective of this is to identify the genes that are co-expressed across the different condition or the experiments. In this, in this clustering algorithms like k-means algorithm, hierarchy clustering algorithms are used to group the genes that show the similar patterns or expression over time or under the various conditions. The the benefits of these techniques are helping in the discovering genes involved in the same biological processes or pathways. Uh, the biomarker discovery is another application. Another use application. It identifies the genes that may act as the biomarkers for the specific diseases, which can be used for the early identification of the disease. In cancer research, the clustering the gene expression data from the tumor sample to identify the subtype of cancers with distinct gene expression profile. It can be a good example of it. Okay, then it is the protein sequence clustering. That is the identifying the families of proteins. Uh, to a, if, it groups the protein sequences based on the similarities in their amino acid sequences. Uh, the algorithms, the algorithms like BLAST, Cluster Omega, Cluster W, these are some tools which use these algorithms to align their protein sequences, cluster them based cluster them based on the sequence similarity, identifying the families of their related proteins. Uh, Generally, in the BLAST and the cluster omega, the hierarchy clustering can be seen. The functional It's the functional prediction of the proteins, uh, which infers that the function of the proteins based on the function of known protein with a similar cluster. Let us consider that we have the unknown protein. Okay, based on the clustering techniques, we have clustered it uh, according to according to its sequence, according to its the similarity in the sequence, which we can say that it performs a similar function to that specific to the specific cluster, and so that we can say that it can belong to the same family. Then it also provides insight to the structure and the potential interaction of the proteins. Uh, then the clustering protein sequences from the large database to find out the homologous proteins that that share the similar function of the or the structures, just as we discussed now. Then genome assembly. In genome assembly, for assembling the overlapping DNA sequences, its objective is to reconstruct a complete genome from overlapping DNA fragment reads. Then clustering techniques are used to group the overlapping DNA sequences into into clusters, which then are reassembled into a complete genome. Then the benefits of this using the clustering techniques in genome assembly are the the it enhances the accuracy and completeness of the genome assemblies, with and it also helps in identifying and correcting the sequencing errors, uh, in which we can say that the errors are in which the errors are reduced. In the evolutionary biology, the grouping organisms based on the genetic similarity, to construct the phylogenetic tree that illustrates the evolutionary relationship among the organisms. The clustering algorithms groups the organisms based on the genetic sequence similarities, uh, helping them to infer the evolutionary relationship and the lineage, providing then which helps us in understanding the evolution by providing the insights into how different species are related and how they are evolved in the over the specific timeline. In taxonomy, it aids in classifying the organisms and understanding their genetic diversity. The clustering uh, in in bioinformatics tools like bioinformatics tools like Blast and Cluster, we the multi we use the multiple we use the multiple sequence alignment to identify the evolutionary relationship by constructing the phylogenetic tree. You by constructing the phylogenetic tree here, the hierarchical clustering can be used. Okay, so we will move towards the clustering using the Python. uh, so the first question arises, why Python? uh, Python is the powerful language, programming language, but it is also easy to learn, and has gained the huge popularity in the recent years, uh, especially in the field of data science. It is mostly useful. It has clear syntax, extensive libraries, and which makes it the ideal choice for the task like data manipulation, data analysis, data visualization. For handling the large data sets to build in the complex machine learning models, Python provides the flexibility and efficiency needed for tackling the intricate challenges. Uh, so, so here, very, so here, various algorithms are used for the clustering. K-means, K-means algorithm, mean shift algorithm, DB-scan algorithm, expectation matrix clustering, expectation maximization clustering using GMM algorithm, agglomerative hierarchy algorithm. So now we today let's move toward let's see what is the code structure of this algorithm. First of all, we need to import the libraries. Then we need to load the data. Then data is pre-processed. Then the data pre-processing, then feature selection, cluster analysis, and the visualization. In importing libraries, we import the libraries. In importing the libraries, we import the libraries and the classes which are necessary for clustering. Then input uh, we we input our data on which uh, on which on which we have to perform the clustering. Then there is data pre-processing part. In this data pre-processing part, in this data process, pre-processing part, we uh, we what actual data we need to be we have to be operated. That data is cleared. The data is pre-processed in most of the cases. Either removal of the noise, removal of the unwanted data is there, or compressing it in the specific or compressing it in the specific compressing it into the specific specific dimensions. Then there is the feature selection. In the feature selection process, then in the feature selection process, uh, in that data, uh, what specific feature mm, we need to be operated is selected. And there is clustering analysis and the visualization. In the clustering analysis we use the here the main part is the clustering analysis. That is we import the just a moment, guys. Here the main part is the clustering analysis. In the clustering analysis, here's the actual algorithm is there. Algorithm works, and and there is visualization. Okay. So here, here are the important libraries and the modules we needed for the clustering. Here we import the NumPy library, pandas, Seaborn, and then the NumPy libraries contain the numerical data sets. The C. Just a second, guys. Once more. Okay, here. So where we were important libraries and the modules. So here NumPy which contains the numerical data sets, which have the numerical which also has the computing tools, numerical computing tools with the arrays, and it is mainly essential for the data science. Okay, and there is pandas libraries. The panda library is the of which offers the powerful data structures like data frames and the series for the data manipulation and the analysis. After that, there is Seaborn library, uh, which we import as SNS. Uh, we on the top, which is it is built. It performs the high level functions of creating the attractive and the informative statistical graphics. Then sklearn. Uh, SK, uh, sklearn is a scikit-learn library. Sklearn, here we can see the sklearn. This library, uh, it has it is a it is a main library for the data analysis, for the clustering analysis also. Then in this from this library we import the class k means k means it is which is the popular for learning the machine learning for the machine learning algorithm for clustering the data points into the groups. So for using the k-means algorithm, for using the k-means algorithm, we import class k-means from the sklearn.cluster library. Then this from sklearn.matrix dot imported silhouette sample and silhouette sample and select score. So in this function from the scikit-learn library helps us to evaluate the quality of the clustering result using the silhouette coefficient, and and the silhouette score measured the how well the data points are assigned to their clusters. Then matplotlib dot pyplot, this library in this it imports the matplotlib library, a fundamental plotting library in the Python for creating the various visualizations. Then uh, Then from the same, then from the same library we import CM. CM is nothing but a color map. It is a color map model from the matplotlib, which provides the color palettes for creating the various plots. Then for pre-processing the data, um, it imports a standard scalar class from the scikit-learn, which helps us to standardize the features by removing the mean and the scaling to the unit variance. This can be crucial for clustering algorithms that are sensitive to the feature scale. Then then this is agglomerative cluster. Then we uh, from the same sklearn dot cluster, we include here class agglomerative clustering, which can be used for the hierarchical clustering. And we use the from scipy library, we use S, SHC. We import scipy.cluster.hierarchy for uh, for our hierarchical clustering analysis. Then then now we move towards the hierarchical clustering. Hierarchy clustering is also known as the connectivity clustering. Connectivity based clustering, and is based on the principle that every object is connected to its neighbors depending on the proximity distance, that is their degree of relationship. The clusters are presented in the extensive hierarchical structure separated by the maximum distance required to connect the cluster parts. The hierarchical determines the cluster assignment by building a hierarchy. This is implemented by doing either a top bottom up or the top down approach. Uh, in this in this hierarchical clustering, there are two types. That is agglomerative clustering, and this is divisive clustering. So in agglomerative clustering, we use bottoms up approach. It merges the 2 points that are similar un, until all points have been merged into single points. Means there is whole data, then means there is whole data, and then after that the data is merged into the one single cluster. But it is opposite in the divisive clustering. It contains the top down approach. It starts with all the points as one cluster, and then splits into the least similar cluster at each step until only the single only the single data point is remain. In an organization, suppose we take the example of an university. Uh, in the university, we take the as it is a, we take it as a single cluster, and in that university, there is which is then again split into the different types of colleges. And then in different colleges there are different departments, and department there are different faculties. This can be a good example of decisive clustering. This method produces a tree-based hierarchy of the points called a dendrogram. Similar to the partitional clustering, in hierarchical clustering, the number of clusters, that is k, is predetermined by the user. The clusters are assigned by cutting the dendrogram at the specific depth that results in the k groups of the smaller dendrograms. So now, for now, we will we will for today we will perform a practical on hierarchy clustering. We will I will show you how the code works. Okay. So let me switch the screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. I have shared a link in the chat box. I have shared a link in the chat box of the data set of which we will of which we will on which we will be performing the hierarchical clustering. For opening the same page on the Google, you can go to Google Colab. Then here on the first link, then here plus one notebook. Okay. So here, so here, this is the process to open the Google Colab. If you are if you are if you have your laptops and PC with you, you are attending with it. So I request you to please the perform simultaneous the steps to which I perform. Okay. So here, first of all, I will go to the files. This type of the interface will be opened here on the three dots. I will click here three dots on the three dots, and I will upload the new file. Okay, we can see that the here our CSV file is uploaded here in this in this data set. It is the genomic data based on the based it is the genomic data based on the based it is the genomic data which is obtained by performing the blast on nucleotide sequence of the PAT, which contains the SARS coronavirus gene. So first of all, we will load our libraries. Okay. Then we will load here we can say our import team. We are performing on the numerical values here, so we will also import numpy as p. Okay, the here our libraries are imported. After that, we will declare the file. We will declare the path where our file is stored. Here, simply go here and copy your path. Copy the path or file. Then we will create a variable that will read the CSV file. Before moving forward, let's have a look towards the data on which we will be performing the data analysis. This is the CSV file. This is the CSV file on which the data is our data is stored. Here our query sequence is there. Then here in this column the sequences which shows the similarities. The sequences of the other species which shows the similarity with our the query sequence is there in third column. There is the how much percentage it is identical. Then it is the sequence let. It is the starting of the query sequence. It is the end of query sequence. It is sorry. It is the gaps, penalties. Then start of the query sequence, end of the query sequence, start of the similar of the sex of the similar sequence of the sequence similar to the query sequence. This is the end of the query sequence. This is a bit score, and this is the bits. This is the sorry. This is the e value. This is the e value, and this is the bit score. So now uh, we will print. We will see the data here. Data dot head. The brackets closed. Here the first five entries of the data will be shown. After that, let's move toward the data pre-processing part. For our easier understanding, for our easier understanding, we will rename these columns. we will rename these columns. So for that, we'll write here the code. Hello there. Is there any problem? Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
For now, we'll rename only few of the columns only. Just a second. Okay. So again, we will check if our data set is data is pre-processed or not. Data dot wait. We can see that here the queries the column names we are changed here are renamed here. Uh, Due to short period of time we did only a few. So now towards the feature selection feature selection step. Let's say we will take the identity. Okay, here person identity is there. Uh, Mismatches. Let us consider mismatches. Okay, so here uh, mismatch equal to data oh, just a second. Now we are taking the mismatch as the variable, and here we have stored this mismatch the data from this mismatches column in this new variable mismatch, and had and we have reshaped it into the specific dimensions. Okay, so here now we will import the libraries which we learned earlier.
Hello.
Just a second, guys.
Aman, your screen is not visible.
Uh, just a second, I will look into it.
Okay.
Visible now? Hello?
Yes.
So here we can see that this is the array we got from this total mismatch data. This is the total mismatch data is there. Then we will then now we will see the clusters using the dendrogram. Here we were doing the hierarchy clustering. So we will now see the dendrogram like the family tree. We can see here. So here it was my spelling mistake here. Sorry. So here the dendrogram, like the family tree, with all the matches are here. So that's all for today. It's already been time. So for now, we'll stop here. Tomorrow we will discuss. I will explain this code, and also we will perform the k-means algorithm for the clustering. Okay. So that's all for today. If any queries are there, you can ask.
If anybody have question, please write in chat box or unmute and ask.
Then let's consider there are no questions. Okay, then we will leave here. Thank you guys for joining today. Let us continue tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be taking, I will be explaining this same code and also explaining another k-means algorithm codes. So be prepared. Thank you.
Okay. I would like to thank Mr. Aman Tiple to insightful workshop on practical application of clustering technique in the field of bioinformatics. And I thanks everybody for your active participation. We will be here tomorrow at the same time, 7 o'clock. I request all to join sharp at 7 o'clock.
Hello, sir.
Thank you.
Hello.
Tell me.
Yes, sir. So the certificate we are getting for this workshop, can we share that on the LinkedIn account?
Of course you can.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Here we will end our session. Okay, thank you.